Good morning, everybody. My name is Dominic Arnone. I am a aquatics lifeguard at the Kansas City, Kansas Great Wolf Lodge. And today is a video. I'm going to explain about what it takes to become a lifeguard at the Great Wolf Lodge. I'm going to go over my lodge because that's the one I'm more familiar with. So before I get started, though, I'm going to show you a little bit more about what the uniform looks like once you actually come in the day after class. So I actually have three different hats. I have one on now. This is a free one that you can get, or a baseball cap from the supervisor. They'll give that to you on your first day. You can also, these at my lodge, you have to work a double to get one of these. This is a bump cap. I usually wear this in the summertime. I don't have my sunglasses with me, but those you would need to wear when you're outside. Luckily, these are transition lens, so I don't have to worry about that. This is a bonus cap that I bought at the gift shop out of pocket for a few bucks. These masks they give to other pack members. These are the Great Wolf Lodge brand masks. We're supposed to wear the blue net gaiters right now because of COVID-19, but I usually like to wear these on stand. So usually what I do, I put it on like this, and I just kind of lower it if I need to talk to somebody, like if I'm blowing my whistle. But anyways, so the main topic of the video is about what it takes to become a lifeguard. So let me go ahead and show you more about what the uniform entails of. Let me stand up and get out of the frame. So let me angle my camera on my computer. Here we go. Alright, so got the hat. The most important piece right here is I don't think you can see it, is the name tag. Has my name on it, and it says Great Wolf Lodge. This is the most important part of the uniform right here, is your name tag and your shirt. You're only allowed to wear your the pants, the shorts they give you. So it says Great Wolf Lodge Lifeguard right there. And you also have your employee ID card right here. This is how you get into the lodge and into staff-only areas. Make sure you have this with you. If you're going to have this on stand with you, just be very careful, because sometimes the ink on the tape will kind of wear off if it gets wet too much. When you're on stand, you need to, of course, you have a hip pack. This one I bought out of pocket with my own money. They do allow you to wear your own hip packs, just as long as it says lifeguard on it. And this is your whistle. Normally, when you first start, you get the red whistle first. After 90 days, you get the blue whistle, and then after a year, you get the black whistle. It's different every time. So let's get back on topic here. See if I can get my ears in the background too. So the first step, if you want to become a lifeguard at the lodge, you first need to have some swimming ability. You need to have, there we go. All right, so you need to have good swimming abilities. Being a lifeguard, you have to have very, very strong swimming skills. You have to know what you're doing in the water. You have to know how to tread. Because if you're rescuing somebody and you can't swim, most likely that's going to be a multi-victim rescue, causing the other guard to break their 10-20 and come and get you at the same time, which you don't want to do that. So before even applying on the Great Wolf Lodge website, you definitely want to make sure you have all the necessary swimming skills you need to become a lifeguard. Usually what I recommend is, being an expert, I usually swim freestyle mostly, breaststroke. That one I learned during my prereq at the YMCA when I first started lifeguarding. That's really helped me with the Great Wolf Lodge curriculum. Because when I first started lifeguarding, it was through American Red Cross, but Great Wolf Lodge, Ellis and Associates, they have a much better curriculum, and I appreciate that very much. I like that very much. Anyways, try not to give away too much. Let me fix my shirt. Sorry about that. Anyways, to become a lifeguard, if you have all the skills you need if you have a good swimming ability, you need to go ahead and go onto the Great Wolf Lodge website, Great Wolf Lodge Careers. If you're applying for your local lodge, you look up and then type in the city. You want to select lifeguard training provided, either part-time or full-time. I'm a full-time lifeguard at the Kansas City Lodge. I'm actually going to go over these beads really quick with you. All if you're asking what these beads are, these are from all the saves I've gotten since I've been at the lodge. This orange one I got from in service. I got 2 of them, along with the blue for going above and beyond the call of duty. Your supervisor, if you have a bead program at your lodge for rescuing people or going above and beyond or doing a good job, your supervisor will cover more of that with you. I actually couldn't make this video at the lodge because, like I said, I've been in quarantine for the past couple of days. So luckily, I only got 2 more days left, and I should be back to go at work again. So so after you apply for the lifeguarding position, you definitely want to be honest on your application. I always tell people that if you have a clean record, you have nothing to worry about. Me, I got on very, very quickly. Other people, it could take time depending on what's going on. So the first step, you want to go onto the Great Wolf Lodge Careers website and apply, Great Wolf Lodge Careers, and select your city that your lodge is in. If you're in Kansas City, you're going to select Kansas City and hit lifeguarding training provided, full-time or part-time. We also have water park attendants, but my lodge, we're in dire need of lifeguards right now, like crazy. Yeah. And my lodge it's a year-round lodge. We do have an outdoor pool as well, but it's closed right now because of the season being over for it. So, after applying, usually within a week or so or a couple of days, you'll get a call or an email from Human Resources. They'll have you come in for usually you'll do like a phone interview, or if not a phone interview immediately, they'll have you come to an open interview. Open interviews at my lodge are usually on Wednesdays. I went Wednesday for my open interview. Like I said, it was about a year ago. It was before June. It was like mid-June or early July, because I know it was mid-July when I went for my interview. And not July, June. I went in for my interview. I was interviewed first by the housekeeping director, and then after him, I got interviewed again by my aquatics director. And he offered me a job. I told him a little bit about my experience as a lifeguard at the YMCA. And, he liked that. So, yeah, he gave me the job. I was hired on the spot. After that, I went to Wolfology the following week. Basically, what Wolfology is, it's also like orientation as well. Basically, in the interview, they'll give you the tax paperwork for the state. If you live in a different state, they give you the tax stuff for that state, along with the state that the lodge is in. So if you're living in one state and working at a lodge in another state, most likely you're going to have to fill out 2 W-4s when you file your taxes. So you definitely want to fill out everything that you know on the paper. You definitely don't want to mess up anything, because that's your money. Once you get paid, that's your money. After that is done and complete, you want to turn in your paperwork on the day of orientation / Wolfology. And what Wolfology is, you'll get a tour of the lodge. Then you have, after that during Wolfology, you'll learn all about the Great Wolf Lodge, what it's about, the brand, and the different core factors. I know some of them, but I don't want to give any of it away. I don't want to spoil anything for the new people that are either thinking about applying or, yeah. I probably would have to get clearance through corporate or my lodge to kind of disclose the core factors. But I'm not going to bother asking them about it, though, just because, like I said, I want you guys to, learn about it in Wolfology, you know what I'm saying, though, to be ready to expect it, yeah. So I actually fell in love with the lodge. I've never gone as a kid, but I heard so much about it. It's a great company. They pay very, very well. I can't disclose how much I'm getting paid just because it's Great Wolf Lodge policy. But I do know full-timers usually make about a little bit more than part-time guards, because it's usually 40 hours a week guaranteed. So you definitely want to, after your interview process, you have Wolfology. So that's where you learn about Great Wolf Lodge, the brand, the history of the lodge, what it's about, and the different core factors and how to interact with guests. Then, after your orientation day, the next step is shadowing. Meaning what that is, though, you'll come in for your shift. Actually, not even shadowing. The next step is lifeguard class. I totally skipped that part. Before you're allowed to wear the blue shirt and the black shorts, you actually have to earn these. They don't just give them to anybody. You can't just get one of these. I mean, yes, you could buy them online, but I recommend earning it than trying to impersonate one of us, the people that actually been through the training, that actually know how to do it. So before you get your blue shirt and black shorts, you have to graduate from the Great Wolf Lodge Ellis and Associates lifeguard training program. That class could take 3 to 4 days, depending on what's going on. My class only took 3 days. It was in the summertime, so luckily it was beautiful outside. I got certified in the outdoor pool, Raccoon Lagoon. On the first day of class, when you come in, a lot of the new guards tend to check in the water park. They'll go inside the aquatics office, wait for the instructor, and then they'll go down to one of the meeting rooms where they hold the class. Luckily, ours was like several doors down from the water park. I checked in, and yeah, we went in there. Basically, what you're gonna do is you'll learn CPR, you'll learn the ratio for CPR. You'll learn FABEO, foreign body airway obstruction, and SMR, spinal movement restriction. You learn all of that on the first day. They usually cover CPR first, and then you'll also learn like basic first aid, all that other stuff. But the first day of class, is getting to know each other, going over the paperwork, and making sure all your paperwork is correct, and then you'll want to go over CPR. You'll do a few scenarios on some CPR dummies. Then after that, the first day of class, you're just learning CPR and basic life-saving techniques. Then your second day of class, I'm just going over what went on in my class. My second day of class, we went over CPR. That's actually when we got in the water, and and basically what we had to do, we had to swim from one end of the pool to the other. We also had to retrieve a 10-pound brick from the bottom of the pool. My lodge is a shallow water facility. All lodges are different. So what I had to do, I had to get the brick from the bottom of the pool, pick it up, hold it in the air, and then I had to put it back down to the bottom for the other person in line. Then I swam back over there, and then everyone took turns getting the brick. Then after that, you'll learn you'll learn how to jump in the pool, how to blow your whistle, different rescue methods, different rescues, and different types of scenarios. You will also be watching some videos in the classroom provided by Ellis and Associates. Because you'll also be learning. One thing I forgot to mention on the first day is you'll learn scanning, how to watch the pool, how to recognize a guest in distress. You'll learn the different stages of drowning. All the basics you need to know. They usually cover it pretty good on the first day. But the hands-on stuff, especially the water stuff, that comes on the first and last day. So on the final day of guard class, you'll review every single thing you did. Then before you graduate, you have to take a 25-question test. It's usually 25 to 30 questions long. Your instructor will tell you which version to take, and you'll have to complete the test. You'll have to pass the test. If you fail, they'll give you a chance to redo the test, but you actually cannot go on stand until you pass the test. Just because you did every other thing in the guard class doesn't necessarily mean you graduate, because you have to pass the test. If you don't pass the test, then you can't become a lifeguard. They might make you just run slides, or they might make you do something else. And if lifeguarding is the only job they got right now, then they might consider you for a different department. But as long as you pay attention in guard class, you should be perfectly fine. I always tell people that, especially the new guards that are coming on. I always tell them, pay attention in guard class. Don't, slack off or goof off, because lifeguard class, it's very serious, because once you graduate, once you put this whistle on your neck, once you put this hip pack on your waist, and you wear this uniform, people's lives are in your hands. They see that paw, and they know you're there to make sure they're safe. It's your job as a lifeguard to be sure people are safe in and around the pool. It's also going to be your job to enforce the rules. Yes, they're going to scream at you, they're going to yell at you, cuss at you, but don't never ever lose your cool, because if you lose your cool, then that can involve you getting terminated or suspended, and we don't want that to happen. You also have to be very good with children, because there are little kids that come to the water park for the first time. It's probably the first time ever coming to a pool, so you have to be good. We have to be good with children and other types of guests. Your supervisors usually are pretty good at helping you, telling you more about what the job entails. 99% of our job is scanning the pool and prevention. Basically, we're trying to prevent an accident from happening or preventing a drowning, and that starts with, proper rule enforcement, making sure swimmers that can't swim or non-swimmer or weak swimmers have the appropriate life jackets approved by the Coast Guard on at all times, making sure everyone's following the rules, because anytime something could really happen or something bad could happen. You never want to take your eyes off the pool, because once you take your eyes off that pool for one quick second, something can go terribly wrong. Someone could drown, someone can go under the water, and you don't even know about it. It takes literally 20 seconds. Oh yeah, it's very serious. And if you don't do anything about it, you can be sued personally for what happened to that guest. I'm not trying to scare you, but that's just what I was told. But yeah, as long as you do your job, and as long as you do your job, people. I mean, you should not have a problem working at the lodge. I mean, it can get some people don't even like working around kids. Some people don't even like just the boredom. But hey, like, if you don't like it, then I'm sorry, it's not for you. I'm sorry. Anyways, basically the secret is if you're good with people, especially with kids, you should have no problems, working at the lodge. I mean, it's a very, very good company. There's always room for moving on up in the company. It's a very great company to work for. The pay is great, the benefits are great, and the hours are terrific. I usually work Monday through Friday, having the weekends off, which is good for me because I play basketball on the weekends. So that's very good for me. There are times where I have to request off for like tournaments and all the other stuff, but the lodge, they're very good at working with you on your availability. And if something changes, though, they're usually pretty good at communication. Sorry, I'm tired. I woke up around 6 in the morning. Basically, after shadowing, on the day of shadowing, you want to, that's where you learn the different zones at the lodge that you're working at or guarding at. Each lodge has their water park set up. Usually about after a few weeks or a month or so, or a couple of months, though, they'll have you come in for what's called Wiley's Safety Club training. And what that is that you learn how to dispatch slides, you learn how to use the towel tracker system, and that's where you learn all the rules and regulations for actually dispatching riders on the slides and learning towel tracker and all the other stuff. That usually, mine, I got lucky enough, they squeezed me into the class a month after I started. So, yeah, I got trained pretty quickly. I mean, I learned pretty quick. I cruised right through. Basically, safety club, that's a lot different than general lifeguarding because you're actually up there interacting with the guests. You definitely want to have a positive can-do attitude with you at all times. If you go into work with a smile on your face, guests, they feed off of that and they're just going to want to talk to you. I mean, when you're on stand, you definitely want to limit the distractions as much as possible. Yeah, I mean, sometimes guests, they'll come up and talk to you for a quick second when you're on stand. They'll ask you a question. Usually what I do, I'll still scan and talk to them, but I also inform them that I have to watch the pool, that I hear exactly what they're telling me. And sometimes they'll swim alongside me when I'm guarding. They'll swim along where I'm walking and just talk. I mean, which is fine, but you want to try to limit distractions as much as possible, and you also want to keep your eyes on the pool at all times, because if something goes wrong, you have to be able to react. I usually never take my eyes off the pool for any reason, because it's never a good idea, because you know Ellis could be watching you at any time. And you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My supervisor, Lizzie, she always says, always scan as if Ellis is watching, because you never know who is watching you. You never know. You always got to keep your eyes on that pool, because if you don't, that's when someone can slip under and something can go terribly wrong. So, yeah, so after shadowing, you have taken the next step and you've actually become a lifeguard. So, your first day usually entails, clock in for your shift. Your supervisor will usually have you clean up, or they'll have you test ride the slides. I usually clock in around 9 o'clock in the morning after I get off of the bus. That way I can get the test rides done. Then afterwards I'll chill in the hot tub for a second, and then I usually like to lay under the big bucket and let it drop water on me before going on stand. Just because, I mean, who doesn't like a good soak? Especially in the summertime when it's hot outside. So, yeah, so your first day usually entails of, getting a hang of the ropes, getting more used to what lifeguarding is about. That's actually when they let you go on stand on your own, and it's going to be up to you, yes, you, to, be the best lifeguard that you can be. And that starts with proper rule enforcement, proper communication, a positive attitude. You could be coming into the lodge with having a big bad wolf day, but never take it out on a guest. Never do that, because that usually never goes. There are times where I have a big bad wolf day, but once I get into the lodge, it's kind of like it's like a healing center for me. I feel happier walking through those doors with my uniform on, being ready to serve our guests and make their stay a great wolf one. Then basically what the job of a lifeguard entails of, scanning your pool, making sure people are safe, and there's a chance you might have to rescue somebody. I always tell a lot of the new guards or the guards that I work with that I've never made a rescue before. I always tell them, the first rescue is always going to be an adrenaline rush, because your blood's probably going to be pumping. You're gonna feel the adrenaline going through your veins, knowing that your training is kicking in and you're doing everything that you were taught in the lifeguard class to rescue that guest. And once you get them to safety, you realize that what you did, you made a difference in that guest's life. And to me, that's what I love about being a lifeguard at Great Wolf Lodge. I love being around the kids. I love being around the families, kind of talking to them. When I'm off the stand, I'll usually walk up to a family, and when I'm on my break, I'll have that conversation with them. I like to educate them about the lodge, just kind of tell them what's all to do besides the water park. Because the goal is, you want the guests to come back to the doors. You definitely want them to keep coming back. And one of the things that starts with, though, is recommending activities all throughout the lodge. Meaning, yes, you're going to have to do some homework. You're going to have to start researching some of these activities on your free time, and getting used to, what all activities are at your lodge. Because that's what's going to help the guests determine on what they're going to do next. We appreciate them coming into the water park. Most of them come just for the water park. But a lot of them don't know all the other activities. So it's up to you as the pack member and your pack leaders to do proper communication with our guests to make sure that they are familiar with all the activities at the lodge. Because guests, once they know something about the lodge, they could tell their friends about it, and the next thing you know, their friends come, and they just keep bringing more and more and more, and attendance grows, and it's great. But because of COVID-19, of course, some lodges are not reopened. Mine is, luckily, with COVID-19 procedures. Why am I so tired today? I got a good night's sleep, too, so I don't know why. I slept for a long time. I don't know why I'm still tired. I think it's because I'm just sitting in front of this damn monitor, bored out of my mind. You also want to make sure you have a water bottle with you. in the summertime. You definitely want to make sure this is full with water, because this is what's going to keep you hydrated when it's hot outside in the sun, you know, getting dehydrated. Because, I mean, the last thing we want is someone having a heat stroke. We don't want that at our lodges. We want to make sure all of our guests and our pack members are safe. And again, that starts with, you know, staying hydrated on stand, being aware of what's going on around you, keeping your eyes on that pool, never taking your eyes off for any reason. Yeah, that's basically a little bit of an inside scoop of what it takes to become a lifeguard at the lodge. If I missed out anything, I do apologize. If I did miss anything, let me know. I'll try to cover that. I'll try to cover that again in another clip. But yeah, I think I pretty much covered all the essentials for what it takes to become a Great Wolf Lodge lifeguard. From the application to the interview to wolfology. So I've covered the steps. So I know step number 1 we covered the application. Step 2 we covered the interviews. Step 3 we covered orientation. Step 4 we covered Step 3 was wolfology and orientation. Step 4 is lifeguard training. Step 5 is shadowing / graduation. That's when you graduate from the class. And then step 6 is actually once you go in for your first shift. So, yeah. Before you become a lifeguard, definitely make sure you have all the necessary swimming skills required. The requirements they usually list on the application. Make sure you meet all those requirements before even applying, because if you don't, most likely the lifeguard class is going to be hard for you if you cannot swim or tread. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm a little exhausted right now, but yeah, I think I did a pretty good job covering the 6 steps of what it takes to become a lifeguard at the lodge. Like I said, if you're good with children and with other guests, and if you want to make a difference in a guest's life, and you know help make a guest stay a Great Wolf one, then I challenge you to go ahead and go online to Great Wolf Lodge Careers and select the city that your lodge is near, or if you live in a city where the lodge is, look up your local lodge, try to remember the city, and then because that's going to come in real handy on the application when you apply for aquatics. That's the department I work in. I'm usually working 40 hours a week guaranteed. It's very good pay. Like I said, I really cannot disclose how much I make just because of Great Wolf Lodge's rules and regulations. Yeah, once you apply, just wait patiently for the next step, which is the interview. And if you don't hear back, I'd usually, like, if you don't hear back within a week or so, probably give them a call and just see what's going on with the application. And if they don't hire you, it's usually because the position was already filled or the application was closed. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot reapply for a different job at the lodge, because I mean, there's so many different ways to get involved with at the lodge, not just lifeguards. There's so many different ways you can work at the lodge. It's not just, you know, being a lifeguard that you can get on at the lodge. There's many different ways. There's security, there's housekeeping, there's front desk, there's kids experience, there's food and beverage. There's a lot to do at the lodge besides aquatics. All you have to do is go online and apply, and whatever job suits you, apply for it. But this video covers lifeguards, so we're going to try to stay on that topic. But yeah, again, you want to apply for Great Wolf Lodge Great Wolf Lodge Careers, go online to that website, and then apply for lifeguard training provided, part-time or full-time. I would recommend full-time, just so you get more hours and more money, but it's up to you how much you want to work. I usually work during the day. I typically only work night shifts on the nights of in-service. Oh, and that's one thing I forgot about, in-service. My lodge, you have to attend 4 hours of in-service every single month to keep your lifeguard's license. Otherwise your lifeguard license could be suspended, or you can get a write-up, and you do not want that. You do not want to get written up for missing in-service. You do not want to miss in-service. Usually they'll have one mandatory that you must attend. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No questions asked. And usually, if you can't attend an in-service, though, they usually ask that you please communicate to the supervisor. That way, they can make other arrangements for you to get your hours. Other dates of the months are month of choice. You must attend at least one of them in order to get the credit. You must sign in and out for your in-service on the in-service paper. Your director will tell you that at all times. Never, because otherwise they will not give you credit. Yes, you could punch in for in-service though, but if you don't sign in on that paper, most likely you will not get credit. So, yeah. Make sure you're signing in and out for in-service. Make sure you're clocking in and out for your shifts. Listen to what the supervisors have to tell you. Your pack leaders, you know, they're the ones in charge. They're the ones making sure everything goes smoothly. Usually, if there's any trouble, they're usually pretty good at communicating that to you. But if you're experiencing trouble with something, or you're having an issue, or if your guest needs to file a complaint and they come to you, you definitely want to signal the supervisor the most appropriate way. Why am I yawning? Oh my goodness. I might have to drink an energy drink. Anyways, you definitely want to stay on top of your A game when working at the lodge, because, you know, people are watching you. You know what I'm saying? You're representing the lodge in that uniform. They see you in that uniform, to them, you're working. So, always be on top of your A game. Always. But yeah, if you're like I said, if you're very good with kids and good with the other guests, then yeah, Great Wolf Lodge, it's the place to be. I mean, I love it very, very much. I love it. I mean, I've been there for a good year now, and I mean, I can't see myself going anywhere else. I mean, it's a very good company. I love it to death. I like to consider it my second family. I mean, they treat you like family out there. I mean, they're there for you if something's going wrong, or let's say you're going through something, you know, and even just sitting down and talking to, like, the pack leaders. I mean, they listen to you. They listen to your concerns. And that can involve, you know, developing friendships at the lodge, you know, becoming friends with other people around the lodge. You know what I'm saying? You just got to get out there and talk to people. You just do. I mean, Great Wolf Lodge, I mean, it's definitely helped me come out of my shell. I mean, I love being around people, and Great Wolf Lodge has given me that opportunity. I mean, I can't see myself doing anything else, really. And like I said, I've been lifeguarding for a while now, and I love it. I mean, it's a job I take very seriously. I mean, I try not to sugarcoat anything, but yeah, lifeguarding I take very seriously. I love it. And yeah. So I think that pretty much wraps up the requirements for what it takes to become a lifeguard. If I missed out on anything, I really apologize. Of course, all the other stuff that I left out, like they'll teach you more and more along the way. Because lifeguarding, it's learning. I mean, you're still learning something new every single day. Because, you know, you could just learn a new skill at an in-service that they incorporated that you might not have learned in class. And, yeah, I mean, yeah, as long as you pay attention in lifeguard class and you pass that test, you should have no problem, you know, with graduating. And once you graduate, you earned that certification. That certification is yours. But every year you're going to have to recertify, so that's the difference between American Red Cross. They're good for 2 years. Ellis is good for 1. Just remember that. Stay on top of your skills, attend your in-services, do your job, scan your pool, and you, my friend, will be on your way to becoming a successful Great Wolf Lodge lifeguard. Again, my name is Dominic Arnone. I am from the Kansas City, Kansas Great Wolf Lodge. Thank you very much for watching today's video, and hopefully it's educated you a little bit about what it takes to become a lifeguard. If you guys are applying for the Kansas City Great Wolf Lodge, I will see you on stand. I look forward to working with you guys if you guys are coming to the Kansas City Lodge. Any viewers in Kansas City, if you're wanting to work at the Great Wolf Lodge, we are hiring right now. So yeah, if I see some of you guys in Kansas City who's watching this video, I look forward to working with some of you guys on stand or just around the lodge if you don't do aquatics, which is fine. So like I said, thank you very much for watching. Have a Great Wolf day. Looking forward to working with you guys.